Have you ever noticed that the most powerful moments in love are not the words we say, but the silence between them? Think about it. Pause before someone says, "I love you." A pause before a hug that feels like home. A pause that lets you feel instead of just react. Most people rush through life filling every silence, chasing every answer, fearing the gaps. But what if I told you the secret to deeper connections, stronger relationships, and even a love that lasts is hidden in the pause? It sounds strange, almost simple, doesn't it? But here's the truth: the pause is not empty, it's charged with meaning. It's where trust builds. It's where attraction deepens. It's where love breathes. And here's where most people miss it: a mistake silence for weakness or hesitation for disinterest. But those who understand the power of the pause, they unlock something magnetic. In this video, you're about to discover why the pause sparks love and how learning to embrace it will change the way people experience you forever. The pause is one of the most misunderstood forces in human connection. Most people think love grows through words, through constant reassurance, through doing more. But true pause teaches us that love grows just as much through not doing. Think about music for a second. What makes a melody unforgettable isn't just the notes, it's the space between them. Without those little gaps, all you'd hear is noise. Relationships are the same. Without pauses, without silence, love becomes noise too crowded, rushed, overwhelming. When you pause in conversation, you create space for the other person's heart to catch up. When you pause before reacting in an argument, you give love a chance to speak louder than ego. And when you pause to simply look at someone you care about without rushing, without distraction, you remind them, "You matter enough for me to stop everything else." That pause is love in motion. Here's the mystery most people never see. The pause isn't an absence, it's an amplifier. It doesn't take something away from love, it makes love stronger. Imagine a grandparent holding their grandchild and just sitting there in silence. No words, no plans, no performance, just presence. That pause says more than 1,000 "I love yous." But here's the challenge. In today's world, we fear the pause. We're so conditioned to fill silence with chatter, with scrolling, with distractions, that we've forgotten silence is a language of its own. And the ones who dare to embrace it, they don't just connect with others, they attract others. People sense their calm, their patience, their depth. They become magnetic without even trying. So here's the question I want you to carry for a moment. What if the pause you've been avoiding is the very thing your relationships have been missing? Here's the part that almost nobody tells you. The pause doesn't just feel good, it rewires how people experience you. Psychologists have studied this. When two people talk, it's not the fastest speaker or the loudest voice that wins connection, it's the one who listens, who leaves just enough silence for the other person to step into. That pause signals respect, it signals trust, it signals I value you enough to not rush you. Now here's the fascinating twist. Our brains actually crave those pauses. In moments of silence, the nervous system calms, the heart rate steadies, and the brain processes connection more deeply. In fact, researchers found that just 2 minutes of silence can activate areas of the brain linked to memory, empathy, and emotional clarity. Imagine what that means in love. Think about your own life. Have you ever been with someone who talks endlessly, never giving space? Usually it's rain, right? But then there are people who don't need to fill every gap, and somehow being around them feels lighter, warmer, safer. That's not an accident. That's the pause doing its invisible work. And here's the deeper truth most people miss. The pause doesn't push people away. It pulls them closer. It creates a rhythm, a dance where connection isn't forced, it breathes. But why does it feel so magnetic? Because pause is rare. In a world obsessed with noise, The one who carries silence with ease becomes unforgettable. They stand out not by shouting louder, but by saying less. Here's where it gets powerful for relationships. When you use pause before answering, before reacting, before confessing your feelings, use create anticipation. And anticipation is one of the strongest sparks of love. The pause keeps the heart leaning forward, waiting, listening, wanting more. That's why the most romantic moments in movies often aren't the kiss itself, it's the pause before the kiss. Before the kiss. That suspended second where everything stops, where time holds its breath, that's what burns the memory into us forever. So here's what I want you to start realizing. Love isn't built on rushing. It's built on rhythm, and rhythm lives in the pause. By now, you can see that the pause isn't just silence, it's strategy. But here's the question, how do you use it? How do you let it strengthen your love instead of making things awkward? Let me break it down. 1, in conversations. Next time someone use love as sharing something important, resist the urge to jump in. Let them finish, then pause. Look at them. Let your silence tell them, I'm not just hearing your words, I'm feeling your heart. That pause will do more for your bond than 10 clever responses. In conflict, this is where the pause becomes powerful. Arguments are fueled by quick reactions. But when you pause, even for 3 seconds, you stop the cycle. You give your partner, your friend, even your child space to breathe. And in that breathing room, respect grows. It shows you value peace more than winning. 3, in affection. Think about the last hug you gave. Did you hold on for just 1 extra second? That's the pause. And that extra heartbeat can be the difference between a quick gesture and a memory that lingers all day. The pause stretches love until it leaves an imprint. 4, in attraction. Silence creates anticipation. The pause before you answer a question, the pause before you lean in, the pause before a touch, it's what makes connection electric. You don't have to say more to be more. You just have to pause more. Here's the truth. The pause is where you show strength. Anyone can fill space with noise, but it takes confidence, patience, and presence to let silence speak for you. And the people who master that, they stand out as leaders, lovers, and friends. But here's the warning, you must use the pause with love, not with manipulation. Pause is not about control or making someone insecure. It's about giving them space to meet you in the middle. When done with the right heart, it deepens connection instead of creating distance. So let me ask you this. What would happen in your relationships if you started practicing just a little more pause? The pause before reacting. The pause before judging. The pause before giving up. The answer might surprise you. Because sometimes the love we're searching for isn't missing. It's just waiting in the silence we're too afraid to enter. Here's the truth I want you to carry with you. Love doesn't just live in the words we say, it lives in the space between them. The pause is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's not hesitation, it's presence. And presence is the purest form of love. When you master the pause, you stop rushing, you stop chasing, you stop proving. Instead, you let connection come alive on its own. That's why people who embrace the pause feel magnetic. They radiate calm, they attract trust, they invite intimacy without forcing it. Think about it this way, storms are loud, but peace is silent. And love, the kind that lasts through decades, through trials, through silences, built on peace, not noise. So here's my challenge for you. This week, don't just talk pause. Don't just react pause. Don't just reach for noise when silence feels uncomfortable. Instead, let that silence breathe. Let it speak. Let it draw the people you love closer. Because here's the mystery: the pause doesn't just spark love, it sustains it. It keeps love alive when words fail. It makes your presence unforgettable. And the person who learns to live with that kind of presence becomes someone others don't want to live without. And if you're ready to take this deeper, to explore not just how to spark love, but how to carry yourself with the strength and value that commands respect, don't miss our next video, The One Mindset Shift of High-Value Women. It's not just for women, it's for anyone who's ready to step into a higher version of themselves. Because sometimes one mindset shift is all it takes to change the way the world loves you. If today's message stirred something in you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to be reminded. Silence is not emptiness, it's love's hidden fire. We are Wisdom Recorders. Subscribe and like for more value content. See you on next video.